Okay, and welcome to another video on the series about higher performance in less time, Command and General Staff Officer course. This will be a quick deep dive into Google Drive and how you can use it to be more productive during the course. First, let's talk about the desktop and sync application. From there, we'll go to folder organization and pulling information off of Blackboard and organizing it, and then go into how it can be used to facilitate group presentations. All right, so if you followed the earlier video about essential software, workflow part one, you will have set up a Google Drive account, drive.google.com. Also, if you Google backup and sync, it will take you to a link to download the software for your computer to actually install it onto your local machine. So download and install that. Once it's installed, you'll have this little cloud at the corner. From there, you can go into this three-dot button, Preferences. Take a little while to load this up. And also just know when you turn on your computer the first time in Google Drive, backup and sync starts running again. It's going to take a little while to check what you have on your local computer versus the cloud. But if you go to this Google Drive tab right here, and then I'll be doing a demo off of this subfolder right there. But you say exactly what you want to download. So for example, I've got my local folder here. This is what's shown in the cloud. And let's say I want to add this X100 information that I'd saved from earlier. So I click the check mark, click OK, and see it's spinning over there. So what it's going to do is going to make an exact copy of what's in the cloud onto my local machine. I can open it and now I've got all those files. And so now you can use that preferences to manage exactly which folders you want to keep synced onto your local machine. The main reason there is just being size. You don't want to destroy your hard drive, keeping everything there. So let's go through an actual flow of what it might look like for me when I was in class. So the main website you'll use is CGSC blackboard.com. You log in, okay, and on the right hand side you'll see a lot of your classes. So let's hop into one of the earlier courses that you'll be in, let's say C100. So click C100, and in there you will have C100 lessons or something similar to that. Click that link. Okay, and then you'll have a bunch of different folders for the actual classes. Each one of these folders is a day of instruction. Okay, so whenever you have the C120 class, that's an actual date on the calendar, and you'll show up and talk about this topic. So let's say I want to get ready to take C100 and prepare myself to be really effective at taking tests in that class as well. So if I've got my backup and sync running on my local machine, all I need to do to make a copy of that, what I did is I had a folder in my Google Drive called CGSC. Then I created a new folder called Classes. Okay. In Classes, I put them in the order that I took them. You can name them however you want. So for example, if I know I'm taking C100 early, I'll put a number 1 underscore next to it. That way it always stays pretty high in my list, so I can keep chronological order. I'll call it C100, and what's this called? Just Foundations. So Foundations. Okay. Or maybe I think this is a critical thinking class. So critical thinking. All right, so now I've got this folder. While I'm doing this, see that little icon at the bottom? It's constantly updating Google Drive with what I'm doing. All right, so now that I've got my C100 general course, now I need to do the individual lessons. So let's do one more folder, C100 Foundations. Now this might seem like a lot of work right now, but I'm telling you, it's going to help you ace your test and write papers really easy. So this little bit of work ahead of time is going to save you a lot of hassle later. So now I go into my C100 Foundations course. If you want, you can download this advanced sheet. I personally, I downloaded them, but it never actually helped me on any tests or papers. So feel free to just skip that. You do need to read it to know what the course is actually about though. All right, so this one, I apologize, actually isn't the best example. Let's see if this one has some readings. Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. So this is the course. And they've got some readings in here. So let's rename this C120, critical and creative thinking. Okay. And then I got C121, so I can just copy it straight out of Blackboard, create a new folder. Okay. And now I've got, still updating, now I go to my readings. So let's say this first reading, right? Click it, save link as. Okay. Go in CGSC, my new classes folder, C100, 120, critical thinking 121, and I save it. So now it's right there. And you do this for all your readings. I'm only going to do this one example just to show you the workflow here. But now if I go back to my Google Drive, okay, and I refresh this. Okay, now my classes folder is showing up in the website. I'm just showing how this all stays synchronized. C120. And now if you're at your Nipper computer, let's say you're doing this at home and you need to find these readings on your Nipper machine, you just go to drive.google.com on the Nipper machine, it'll all be there. Okay, so now it's in this folder. I will repeat this process for not just C121, but every course, okay? And your goal here is to get all the readings into your Google Drive. That way, when you take a test, if you don't want to take it using Mendeley, what you do is, let's say your test has the word critical thinking in it, right? Critical thinking something something. Well, now I can type in critical thinking, okay, and it'll show me all the files that have that word critical thinking in there. It's not 100% guaranteed to find it, neither is Mendeley when I show you that workflow. But now you've got it all in one place. Now you can search every single reading all with one search and do it very quickly. Let's see what else. Oh, okay, so with Google Drive, we also want to talk about group presentations. Okay, so let's go back to, for example, this PowerPoint that I'm briefing off of now. So here's one PowerPoint right here. So I can say open with and click Google Slides, okay? You'll need to make sure whoever is hosting this gives you edit permissions, okay? And now here I can say hello world. And if you have multiple people, you're like your whole 16 person staff group, you'll see a whole bunch of icons right here of the 16 people or however many are logged in. And you'll see like if there's text over on this right portion, if my highlight is blue, theirs will be purple and someone else will be yellow. And you'll all see each other editing the slide all at the same time, which is very helpful. And it'll all be updated in real time and saved in real time. So that allows you to just send out that link. And again, the way you do that, go to the website interface for Google Drive, right-click the file you want to share, click this share button with the plus, round up everyone's emails, and send them an email with the edit permissions. So I'm sorry, I went through that pretty fast. So let's say I want to say you@u.com, and I want to click done. And now it'll be shared with them. And if I want to change that later, I can look at the list and it'll show all the people that can edit there. Somewhere in here, and I apologize that it's not showing me right now for some reason, it'll ask you if you want to give them view or edit rights. You just click view editor and they'll be able to edit the slide deck. Same thing with the folder. If you want to do a folder level share, and now you type in the people, and so that's really convenient. So what I did is just like I had organized these classes, all this stuff into a bigger class folder right here. What I did is I went to that top level classes folder, and with my staff group, just that one time I clicked share, added all their emails, and then for the rest of the class, anytime I made another file down here, especially like a PowerPoint presentation, it was automatically gave them those edit rights because it was within this bigger folder that I made. And that way you don't have to mess with it with your staff group. Same thing if you get electives or you do one of the shared classes where you have the staff group across the divider from you. So you have 32 people working. You'll just have to add that other staff group that one time, and then you won't have to worry about constantly adding people after that. Just to go show how the edits will show up when you go back and look at these things. So I just edited this PowerPoint right here. So when I open the local copy, again, these things are all updating all the time. Now the edit I made in the web page is showing up in PowerPoint itself. Be sure to coach your peers when you do this method, right? Emphasize that they need to use the Google Slides website. Don't open it in PowerPoint. You'll probably run into battle buddies that just are anti-technology and just don't want to use anything that they haven't used in the past. If someone opens this in PowerPoint itself and then tries to add it back to that folder, now you'll have a conflict of, all right, well, what's the most recent version? And all those edits that either the whole class was doing need to get thrown away to include this person's version, or you need to tell that person, sorry, but now you got to somehow copy and paste all this into the web version. So make sure everyone's using the website, not actual PowerPoint software itself. The other nuance to this, when you get a lot of tables or figures that are PowerPoint specific, so for example, right here, you know, I've got this table and I can insert it. Make tables using Google Slides, not PowerPoint, because when you try to copy and paste this table, for example, if you're working in Google or Microsoft PowerPoint and you try to paste it into the web, it'll just paste it as an image, not as a table, and people will start getting frustrated. Again, if you just start working on this stuff from Google Slides from the very beginning, you'll avoid all that frustration. All right, that wraps it up for Google Drive. The next one should be Mendeley.